All right, I think we're good.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Justin. Are we
Oh,
ready to go?
I think so. A little bumpy start. That's okay.
Just when we get things down a little bit, we add another element so
That's
we
all right.
can, you know, forever
How's
be
everyone
in
doing today?
flux.
Who we got in the chat here?
We got
John, Sean.
a lot of our favorites. You're looking better than me as always, Justin. By the way,
I think you're looking a little.
I like your lighting. I like your like blue. This kind of reminds me of a little creepy
Yeah,
horror
the blue
movie film.
looks not looking.
Make
It's
it
a
look
little
like
too blue today.
a little bit like a zombie. I like it. Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out with us tonight. Let's see who is all here, man. Ed Benz, hello. Life with Lay, hello. Jim Morrison, hello. Who else? Don, hello. Billy, King Howler, thank you guys all for showing up. Sean, what's going on? Michael, how you doing? Um, we just want to check in. It's been a week or so, and we missed you guys, and we wanted to kind of pop on and see what's up. Hope everyone had a happy New Year's. Justin, how was your New Year's?
New Year's was good. I think went to sleep at 10:30, and yeah, nothing too crazy. I think we wanted to try to it's COVID New Year's. You still want to do something, but obviously you still want to be safe.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of even Christmas. Christmas was kind of one of those things where it was very limited in the family time. So
Yeah, I think I'm getting a little old and lazy because I was kind of like enjoying the fact that it was like, oh, I don't have to go anywhere. I mean, I kind of want to go someplace. I want to see some friends, which I did, uh, talk to and stuff. But it was also kind of nice to just not have to go out and hang out. Camilla, hello. Angelique, hello from the Netherlands. Thanks for tuning in. So how many more movies coming out? King Howler, we have a lot of more movies coming out. We are working overtime. Right now, I don't want to say too much, but I think we have about 40 to 50 new films on the way, um, and maybe potentially more. And we're going to keep pushing to have even more. So we're trying to mix things up a little bit.
yeah, we got doing some working on some stuff as of today even, and Mike, one thing I want to do is that just in case the people haven't, if this is your first time live, my name's Justin, and that is Mike.
And this is Mike. Yes, hello.
So we are part of Kings of Horror. But yeah, I know it looks like there's some new people. So yes, we do have mainly films on our channel, mainly horror films, and sometimes we'll sprinkle us in, or we'll sprinkle some movie reviews, video game reviews, other things onto the channel. But yeah, movies is where it's at. And as far as new movies, we definitely do have a bunch coming up.
We got a bunch coming up. We have Terror Tuesdays scheduled out for I think the next 2 months, which is good to go. And then we're going to start adding some on Fridays. As we kind of get more films and keep expanding our different partners and stuff, some of the films, unfortunately, will only be U.S., Canada. Some of them are worldwide. But there's always, every now and then, unfortunately, we don't get all of them for worldwide, but they will be more coming. Noah says we need scary horror movies. Yeah, we have some scary ones coming, I think. We have some fun ones coming. And speaking of some fun ones, tomorrow for Terror Tuesdays, we have a horror movie called Head, which is a like all puppets horror film. It's hilarious. I don't know. I like ridiculous stuff. I hope that you guys enjoyed as much, and the filmmakers are going to be joining us. It's quite a feat to put together a full feature film with just a bunch of puppets in a horror.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool. I was when I first saw it, I didn't saw it from a glance, wasn't hearing the audio or anything, and this is a horror movie, so yeah.
It's fun. King Howler Gaming, yes, you can definitely have a shout out. Thank you very much for watching all of our movies and checking in with us. Sean Bailey says the only horror movie was the U.S. beating Canada in World Junior Hockey. Well, I'm a Golden Knights guy, but I still have not dove into hockey as much as I'd like to. So yeah, I'll take your word for that, Sean. I've watched the scariest horror movies ever, and I think you said, and never get scared. I don't really get scared too much either any longer, but and maybe that's why I like more horror comedy at this point. Like, I just like the ridiculousness of it all. But yeah, it's fun. Camilla says she's looking forward to the Head. Yeah, I hope you guys like it. It's fun, man. I mean, and we keep trying to bring different stuff to the channel so that there's something for everyone. But yeah, this one's a fun one, and I know that our normal crew that hangs out with us every Tuesday. I think most of you guys are gonna dig it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
You'll be there.
I will be there. Yes, I'm finally off.
So a lot
tomorrow
of
night,
times
off dad duty.
the Kings of Horror name on there, it's between me or Mike, and yeah, past few weeks I've been there. Mike, you
Yeah.
popped in a couple times though.
Yeah, I'll pop in on my cell phone.
But I
when-
think tomorrow you'll be taking the reins.
Yep. Tomorrow we'll be on live, so so you guys can tell us who does it better. If it's me or Justin. I'm just kidding.
Of course, you know who it is. But yeah, I think I've taught you well, so
Yes, you have. I've learned much from you. I've learned very much from you. So I will
And
take your guidance moving forward.
Again, if you haven't caught a Terror Tuesdays night, definitely check it out. It's been going on for a few months now. Terror Films provides all the movies, and a lot of times we have the filmmakers come on and visit. So yeah, Terror Tuesdays is a cool thing, and
Yeah, tomorrow night.
so we got a
I think
chance to meet a lot of you guys and a lot of the other audience members.
Yeah, and I think tomorrow night we have like the director, I believe, is joining us, and I think a couple other people. So it'll be a fun one. I have a lot of questions for those guys, so I'm excited that I'm able to be online tomorrow night and chat with them all. Camilla says when she was young, she got scared of Freddy. I was really scared of Freddy when I was young too. The whole dream thing. I mean, you already got nightmares from watching horror movies when you were young and a kid, and that one was in your nightmares, so I think it made him extra scary.
Yeah, Freddy was always. Yeah, he's definitely the number one. I hit that right time where when I was a kid, he was definitely the scariest.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. So they're a lot of fun. Those movies are fun.
My fear, and I think I've said this before, my fear of waterbeds came from, I think it was part 3, when he comes up from the waterbed. The first one, he comes up just from the regular bed.
I don't remember.
And pulls I think Johnny Depp pulls
That's
Johnny
in
Depp
the first
in.
one, yeah.
But they do call back to a call back to that, I think, in one of the sequels.
Interesting.
So
because the Johnny Depp thing feels like a waterbed. It's full of
it
blood.
does, yeah.
Like, it's just like, so I think I always had kind of that in my head. But yeah, it's a blood bed.
So thanks for coming, everybody. We hope to do more live shows, we will be doing more live shows. So once a week.
Yep, once a week we're going to be doing a live show. We're going to start adding guests to the shows as we're getting some of this stuff down. We have a couple of fun people lined up. Danny Draven, who's an excellent filmmaker, who's made some really cool films that are on our channel that you guys watch a lot, which is great. He'll be joining us within the coming weeks on one of our live shows. We'll have Mark Miller back to chat with us. And also, I'm working right now and getting, I don't know, how many of you guys seen The Greasy Strangler? If any of you seen it, or if you haven't seen it, or Video Dead, but a friend of ours, Michael St. Michael's, Big Ronnie from The Greasy Strangler, was chatting with him the other day, and he said he'd like to come on and chat with us sometime, so hopefully we'll get him on soon too. I'm spoiling all the surprises, but I want you to know that we're not just, it's not just Justin and Mike all the time.
Unfortunately, it's not just us two. We will have a lot of people coming on. So,
thank you, Don. Someone just said, what do you think of the new Candyman movie coming out? I'm really excited about it. I was very excited about the new Candyman movie, and then the world fell apart and we all had to wait, and so I can't wait for it. I'm really excited about it. I think I know we've talked about it before, but I like remakes. Like some of them I don't like at all after I see them, but I don't have like that hard approach of hating remakes. I like to kind of see them.
Yeah, I'm kind of my first instinct's not I'm a non-remake guy, but then after there's been a few that's definitely surprised me. But then I'm not against it either. I think if people try it, try. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
It's just fun. Yeah, it's just a fun thing to do. I can't think of a ton of them that I've loved, but I can think of some of them that I really liked, and I think I talked about it before. Is like sometimes it's just even. I don't even consider it really in the same world as the original, and I still just like it for what it is. So he said, "Don't go." Have you seen it, Noah? Have you gotten a sneak peek at the new Candyman movie? I would like to know if you did. And Violet, looks like it's 2 a.m. She's got to go. All right, thank you for stopping.
Thanks, Violet.
Violet, it's nice for you to join us and get some rest. I can't wait for Don't Breathe 2 and The Conjuring 3. I can't wait. I've been hearing about Don't Breathe 2 for a while, but I haven't heard anything recently about it. But I loved Don't Breathe. The Conjuring, I like them, but I'm like, it's not. I mean, I just enjoy them. They're fun. Don't Breathe, I'm like,
I really
excited
enjoyed The
about.
Conjurings.
Do you?
Yeah, I really and you know, it's one of those things you see so many freaking horror movies, and it's tough to actually get scared or have that kind of feeling. The Exorcism of Emily Rose, I remember you did that to me, and I watched like where you watch a horror film and you get that kind of same feeling as you got when you're, you know, a kid.
Yeah.
And there's, you know, you kind of feel scared and you get taken for that ride. Conjuring films, except I've only seen the actual Conjuring 1, Conjuring 2. I haven't seen Annabelle. And I think there's one other in the universe
Nun
there.
is the Nun, I believe.
I'm not quite. I don't know if the Nun is now. Well,
Yeah, I think the Nun is. You guys can
Is it?
confirm
Yeah.
that for us. I'm not. My Conjuring knowledge is not as up to date either, but I have seen 1 and 2 as well, and I don't think I watched Annabelle yet either. Writer Jordan Gory Jury. Geez, sorry, bud. Writer Jordan Gory Jory Lurie. I love the name. Wants to know what we think about the 1985 film Hard Rock Zombies. I don't know that. I don't know that movie.
I've never seen Hard
Yeah.
Rock Zombies.
But now I have to. Yeah.
I watched today. Well, movies play here at work. A movie called Nightmare.
Yeah.
Didn't have the audio on. The visuals though, crazy. And I want to rewatch that one. Nightmare, I think, was from the early '80s, and it's definitely interesting. Definitely pretty cool.
Justin's always got some cool horror movies kind of playing on his other monitor while he's working. And I peeked at that
Reese,
one today.
R&D, please.
Yeah.
R&D.
It looked like that one scene when I popped over there. It looked like The Shining, but you know when he was hacking through the door.
Yeah, exactly.
But then there's like the kid on the other side with a gun, and I was like, that looked pretty awesome. So I'll have to take a look at that one. Yeah, when Freddie came out about the same age, like 26. Yeah, a couple of months apart. Freddie was scary. Freddie was very scary. I think we talked about this before. I think I just lost my headset there. But when Freddie came out, it was one of the ones that scared me quite a bit. And then
I'll get you your headset. Let's get your headset back.
I'll get it back on. But the one thing I was going to bring up was like the last movie that I still remember scared the hell out of me was Strangers. And then that one, I don't know, that's the one that I've seen in the theater as an adult that really, really scared me. I'm going to fix my headset. Justin, you can keep talking.
When was Strangers made?
I think Strangers is about 10 years old, maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Maybe 15 years old. I can hear it now, thanks. But that one scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Sean Bailey says, bad horror movie is Cujo. Sean, you love to bash the classics, man.
Right.
Like, I rewatched Cujo about a year or two ago. It's pretty crazy. Like it's. I don't know if I think that one holds up as well as I'd like to, but it's fun. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I'm 44, so man, I don't know, but I wish.
Cujo's. It's been a while since I've seen Cujo. Definitely seen that years ago.
Yeah. Sean, what do you got? You got some Twizzlers going on over there as usual. I think I gotta get Twizzlers more frequently around here because every time you guys talk about them, and I always tell myself I'm gonna go buy some because it's been so long. And last time we had the big debate about Twizzlers as opposed to Red Vines and Red Rope, and we went on and on and on.
You know, I'm curious. What is your? And you guys can chime in too. Mike, what is your favorite movie theater candy? And do they different from movie to movie, or is it what's your go-to candy at the
peanut
theater?
M&Ms.
Peanut M&Ms.
Probably peanut M&Ms.
They come in a box or come in a bag?
The box, because that's what you get at the theater. That way, they make you feel like you're getting a lot more, but you're actually getting a lot less and paying twice as much.
I was like, and the box is a little. Is the box louder? It feels like
the box
it's
is
louder.
louder, yeah, for sure.
It's all rolling, sliding in there.
Yeah, they're definitely a little louder.
You-
Also says Cujo is bad. We should watch that one.
Yeah, we can do Cujo.
Yeah. What's your favorite candy? What's your movie theater candy of choice?
You know, it's crazy. My movie theater candy. I've never really been a movie theater candy guy. So
Just
it's
a
always
popcorn
just been
guy?
the popcorn and soda. But when I do get movie theater candy, I feel like it's nibs,
Nibs.
nips.
Nibs. I
The
think it's
licorice
NIBS, right? Nibs. Yeah.
nibs.
Yeah. Crunch bars all the way, right? Yeah. Crunch bars are pretty good too. He crumbled them up and put them in popcorn. Somebody I went on a date one. This is a long time ago. And someone took. She put like I think it was gummy bears in our popcorn or Skittles or something like that. Something strange. It was fun, but I didn't really. I never did.
Oh,
that
that's a
one
thing,
again.
man. Putting
Yeah, chocolate. But I felt like that one
like
was like a
M&Ms
fruity
and stuff.
one.
Fruit.
Yeah. We've tried the chocolate since, which is kind of fun. But yeah, yeah. See, Sean says no candy. He doesn't understand why you don't want candy with your movie theater experience. You're just so dedicated to the popcorn. You
Well, I
don't
think
wanna
it's that
lose it.
soda, man. That soda's already balancing it out. It's like
That makes sense.
you get that nice sweet soda,
Yeah,
and you get the popcorn. It's like kind of one of those things.
yeah, that makes sense. So what have you been up to lately, Justin? You been watching a new TV show or anything you were telling me about?
Yeah, well, we've been just been working, and then on my free time, I've been watching. One of the big shows I've been watching is Comic Book Men, and I got on that about 2 weeks ago, and I freaking love that show.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big comic book guy. I've never like been against comic books, but I haven't really been like the expert. I've had a handful of comic. I think I just gave Mike here
You
a month
did.
ago a box of my comic collection. I pretty much gave you.
Yeah.
I think I kept 3.
Do you want it back now because you've been watching comic book?
Hey, I might want some
I
of them.
might let you. I'll sell them to you at a good price.
I was thinking about that last night. I was like, man, that Batman 700 would be pretty cool. I was like, I wonder how much you're gonna sell it to me for.
Yeah, I'll give you a good deal.
No,
They're yours. You can have
Comic
them back
Book Man's
any way
the-
time you like.
show of what's that?
I said they're yours. You can have them back anytime you like.
All right, I might take a couple here. But no, Mike promised me to take me to the comic book store this week. So
Yeah, little code comic book
but yeah,
outing.
Comic Book Man's been really kind of making my nights relaxing, and it's Kevin Smith's comic book store in Jersey. You've watched the whole series, right? You watched that?
Yeah, I watched it
Yeah.
all when it was on. I love it. But I'd like to go back and rewatch it. I just enjoy. Like we talked about, it's like comfort food television. I just hang out. It just reminds me of being a kid and hanging out in the comic store.
Right.
Also reminds me of when I was 18. Me and my brother had we had a shop at the swap meet. We have this big swap meet here in Las Vegas called the Fantastic Indoor Swap Meet. And so it was only open on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But we had a comic book and toy shop in there. And it was fun. It was a fun
New
6
comic
to 8
books?
months. No, like back issues and also sports cards too. But it was a lot of fun. We meet a lot of fun people. Really good time. We didn't know what we were doing.
We're gonna
so
do
we
that
just
again.
lost a lot
We're
of
gonna
money.
broadcast. Kings of Horror is gonna have a booth at the swap meet once the world goes back to normal.
That'd be fun.
We're gonna broadcast live out of the swap meet. You guys can come up, buy some back issue comics, some horror comics.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome, man. I went there. Yeah, it was about a year ago, a little over a year ago, and I hadn't been there in over 10 years, 10, 15 years. Like, I'm kind of forgot about the experience, but
It's
getting little
fun,
snacks
man.
there. I mean, it's like it's amazing. They have some cool stuff there. But bringing it back to horror, because that's why you guys are here. Horror comics, though. We were talking about different types of comics and the medium of comics and how kind of cool medium it is,
Yeah.
and how some people brush over it. Or if you're not necessarily, well, I don't say some people, but if you're not really aware of comics, you might just think, oh, it's just some pictures and letters. But man, comics really have a deep form, have a voice, And I got into them a little bit, like I said, about 10 years ago. But going back to horror comics is one of my favorites is 30 Days a Night. And I remember buying that horror comic from a comic store across from UNLV, going in and asking the guy. I kind of wanted I was looking inspiration for my films as far as like different perspectives and different angles, and I didn't want a comic book that was kind of drawn in a cinema form in the traditional medium shots, wide
Storyboard
shots.
forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and comics still have a very unique vision, but I really wanted kind of something off the wall. And I don't even know if I asked for a horror comic. I think I just said, just you have a comic that has like some really interesting angles and some non, a
A
unique look.
non-traditional look.
Yeah, and he gave me 30 Days a Night before the film was even out. I don't even think they had announced it, but I remember looking at that. I still have it, and
The artwork in that's really cool.
yeah,
Is that I think it's Steve Niles wrote 30 Days a Night, but he may have also done the artwork for it. I can't remember. But he, that's a really cool book, and one of the questions we had a minute ago was from writer Jordan. What horror film would you want to see adapted into a video game? That would be a fun one to see. 30 Days a Night. Gonna survive 30 days. What is it? In Alaska,
video
I think
game
it is.
horror. Yeah, it's Alaska. I'm curious now.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have like a 30-day survival mode, and just be also cool to just play that game like you had to commit to it for 30 days, like I don't know, like a campaign. See if you can survive the entire 30 days. That would be fun. I don't know. I'd like to see a lot of horror movies made into video games.
Yeah, that's a tough question.
Although I don't get the
Let's
time
see.
to play video games like I used to. But maybe that would bring me back. I played the Friday the 13th one a handful of times, and I liked that a lot. I was terrible at it, but I had fun with it.
Jason, and that's classic, man. The
Yeah.
purple Jason.
Did Creepshow also exist in comics? I just can't remember. It was a pre-trade like Creepshow. I think so. Yeah, I believe so. It did. I can't remember if it came out before or after the comics. But
But
there
was
was
Creepshow was that was Stephen King, right? That was the
yeah, and in the movie, it's like laid out as a comic, like the way it opens.
Yeah, I can't remember which came out first. If one was inspired, I think
Yeah.
I think it was just the comic.
Yeah, I don't remember. But there are other like kind of magazines, like horror magazine types things back then that were very similar to Creepshow. So maybe that's where Creepshow got its.
Yeah, I definitely do know that Creepshow was inspired by the old 50s and 60s like
It's where we need
kind of
Tony.
horror comics.
Tony would have all these answers.
Yeah. I have the Creepshow comic. I just bought it too recently.
Yeah.
And it was said what the inspiration was.
Yeah, one was like there's Monster. There's a couple really cool like publications like that. I had a few of them when I was a kid, but I don't know which one came out first. And we got Angel Shut Up. Hi, Angel of Mercy. Nice to have you. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so I talking about comics and stuff. We do want to always mention that Mark Miller has his horror comics that he writes, which are awesome.
Yes. Wanted to get into that.
Yeah, Grave Trancers was the one he wrote them a while back, and actually he did write some stories also for maybe even like the Monster magazine. I can't remember. He's written quite a few different really cool things. But Grave Trancers is a very fun comic. It's really cool, really weird, and I love it a lot. And then he has Pirouette that I think just came out on trade, which I haven't read yet, but I look forward to checking that out.
Yeah, Grave Transfers looks amazing.
Yeah, it's fun. I'll let you borrow it because I have it. Sent me a copy.
Let's bring. Who do you think we should? Well, we might need to bring Mark or Tony on for a horror comic episode. I think let's do that soon.
We definitely should.
Would you guys like to see a horror comic?
Yeah.
Kings of Horror live episode. I'm sure they would.
Yeah, and Tony's. I mean, Mark did a couple of cool horror reviews, like horror comic reviews. One was I think about Werewolf by Night, which was a Marvel comic, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But he did a cool review on that. So that's a. What about Tales from the Crypt? I love Tales from the Crypt, and I also think that was a thing. But then I do believe they did make a comic adaptation of it. And my camera has gone off. And I'll be
we have not fixed that
momentarily.
issue. Well, I attempted to fix that issue, but
Can you guys still hear me?
they can still hear you.
Well, that's really all that matters. I have a face for radio, so.
No, yeah, we'll bring Tony on.
Okay.
We can do.
What's going on here, bud?
You're good. You're on.
Oh, I got a delay over here, so I'm like. I keep just turning it on and turning it off.
No, we'll bring Tony on for a little comic book thing. Maybe bring Mark on for a little comic book. I do want to read some of the old classic horror comics.
Yeah.
And some of the newer ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of good. There's tons of stuff that I don't even know about. Mark could give us a lot of insight, and Tony could too. Tony is our friend who helps out with the film festival, and Tony Strauss, and also is a partner in a publication where they do the Wang's Chop and I think even Monster magazine, like a small one. But it's really cool stuff. He's a wealth of knowledge when it comes to
Right.
horror movies and pop culture and different cool stuff like that. And so was Mark. So yeah.
And then for also too, if you haven't checked it out, for horror video games, Todd Hailstone from Robot vs. Dinosaur,
Yeah.
does some horror reviews. So, a friend of ours. But yeah, I need to have Todd do a Friday the 13th Nintendo review or something, some old classic one.
Yeah.
And the Friday the 13th, the newer game, was also fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And-
I want to do like the kids do. I want to do like the video game playthrough. Although no one wants to watch me play a video game because I'm horrible at them. But I want to play like the old, like I want to do the old Nightmare on Elm Street NES or Friday the 13th NES games. Just
That'd be amazing. Yeah.
let's see how long you guys could last before you
Todd,
never watch us again.
Todd was telling me, he's like, the Nightmare on Elm Street Nintendo game. He was reminding me that was 4 players.
Oh wow!
So that was one of the 4-player games. So you had to have the 4-player, piece of hardware, controller, adapter.
That's
You plug
awesome.
4 Nintendo controllers in it, and it's a 4-player game. I forgot about that. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, and if I'm being honest, when I was a kid, when those games came out, I was always let down. Like I remember the packaging, like when it came to like movie adaptations of video games to Nintendo, the early Nintendo, like I remember just being so excited. And I can't remember one movie adaptation, whether it's horror or not, that I played and I thought was fun. I feel like they just mailed it in. You know, like
I completely forgot about Halloween being an Atari game.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that.
I think there was a Halloween Atari game. Yeah, E.T. was classic.
Yeah.
Best game ever.
Yeah.
I hate Friday the 13th game because it's the old Nintendo games in general were always tough. Just in general.
I think Camilla's talking about the newer one. Maybe. I don't know if you're talking about the newer one or the older one. But the new one, I'm terrible at too. But the new one is fun, man. Like I put it on the TV. I think, did we play it together one night?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We had Darren over here.
Yeah, and it was like I have a blast with it, and I'm really awful at those games. Like I'm always going the wrong direction and jumping when I'm trying to hit, and I'm pretty bad. But I had a lot of fun with it, and the music in the Friday the 13th game gets you like it that probably scares me more than a movie I've seen in a long time. Like I would get like really like a lot of anxiety playing it, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, I love it, man.
I'd like to dedicate a little more time to getting better at some of those,
and we'll do a little horror game episode also.
Yeah,
we'll bring Todd on and have him.
Camilla's talking about the old one. Yeah, the old one is very tough. Like I said, I don't really remember even all the details of the old one. I just remember, as always, being so excited, buying the game, and then just being like, this. I wanted to kid myself and tell myself I loved it, but I didn't really love it.
No, you didn't. You know what's funny though? I actually like playing because I have your Nintendo Friday the 13th in my house right now. I was playing it a few weeks ago, about a month ago, and that one I actually enjoy now as an adult. That one actually holds up. I feel like I have Nightmare on Elm Street. I haven't played Nightmare in a bit, but I think Friday the 13th. It's hard, but it has a kind of a cool little format to it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Colors are fun, and
you can kind of pick your pick the cabin you want to go into, and it's not just like
the music is
the level
fun.
starts. You can kind of go anywhere, and I think that's kind of it was almost like an early MMOs, they say, multiplayer online type of game, open world type of deal. I feel like, not to the best as it could be, but you didn't have to go to one spot. You could pick a cabin. You can go to one cabin, and then he would either kill you in the cabin or he would kill you outside.
That's awesome. I saw Don mentioned earlier that they made a cartoon for kids for Tales from the Crypt Keeper. I do remember I believe there's a cartoon like in the 90s, I think, or maybe even the 80s. If it's not a cartoon, I remember the toys. There was toys that you could like little kid toys for Tales from the Crypt, and I had some of them. I probably wasn't that young. I was probably my early teens, but I had some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny how like some of those old toys back in an era where I felt like things were a little bit more, I don't know, regulated and stuff. It was like there's all these horror toys they made, the RoboCop toys. I think we chatted about that once before. But Tales from the Crypt, Swamp Thing, everything got turned into a toy, which probably created my
Yeah, or it got turned into a
addiction.
show from a toy.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
and
Still haven't finished Alien Isolation. It's literally too frightening to complete. I'll have to check out. Have you played that? That's a game, I believe.
which game is it?
Alien Isolation. I think that's one.
No, I haven't yet.
I have been scared more by video games probably as an adult than I have by
Silent Hill. When I played Silent Hill
Yeah.
off the very first one on PlayStation, I remember renting it, and that was a crazy little first time experience too, because you're sitting there and you had my lights off and I wanted to be scared, but when it actually made me scared, I was walking through there and I actually felt, I was like, man, this is amazing. That feeling of actually being scared like by a game, was super fun. And I remember playing that game. The original Silent Hill was pretty
Yeah, I
freaky.
remember it was really scary. There was another one. I have no idea what even this game was, but I was at a buddy's house one night and it was like, this was 5 years ago, but it was like a little boy kind of going around and it was dark. And it was like a game it wasn't even, it wasn't like a major release of any game, but that game scared the crap out of me, man. It was fun, but he was just like going around. And there was like zombies, and it was really cool kind of artwork and animation in it. I wonder if he'd know that because that was a fun game. I had a lot of fun with that, but it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess to kind of go back to some of the new stuff on the channel before I forget to touch on it.
Yeah.
As you see our new little live sticker there. And you saw our new little logo that we're working on, the KOH. I think we're getting close.
Yeah, we got a nice skull that you made. Maybe
Yeah.
a little new font.
Yeah, we're working on. We want to kind of bring it back to the old, the old VHS days, the old horror stickers that we had. So we'll be revamping all of our stuff on the channel. So the movies will have the green horror sticker like we used to love in the VHS stores. And then have some different color-coded stuff for special features and some other stuff like that.
Yeah, so when you go to the YouTube page, we want the page to be that video store, like Mike said, the video store experience. When you guys watch one of our movies or one of our live content or the traditional content, on the right, when you guys see all those films, you have that green sticker up there with our skull, and that means it's like, that's part of our movie shelf.
Movie.
So you can stick with us on watching our films instead of everyone else's films. So
That's right. That way if you're on someone else's channel and you see that, you make sure to come back and hang out with us. What else are we doing movie wise? So we talked about we get Terror Tuesdays lined up for a few weeks. Next week on Terror Tuesdays, no, it's not next week, it's the following week, we're doing a documentary. Which we tried a documentary once before, and I know that wasn't everybody's favorite thing, but this one is a really cool one. It's a documentary about Pet Cemetery, so I'm excited about that. Don Bentley says, "Where are the membership cards?" We are working on them, Don. I promise. We were just talking about them today. I looked at a site last week to see about getting them printed up. So
we are currently working on those. Yeah, definitely.
They're coming soon. I promise. Yeah, they're fun. I want one just to have put in my wallet. I'm excited about it.
No, membership cards are great.
Yeah, so we'll be doing the membership cards shortly. And we'll be updating some of the designs on our t-shirts and different things like that with some of the new logos. We kind of want to also keep up the old stuff because it's kind of fun just to have our original Kings of Horror. But we just felt like it was a little time for a little change. So
yeah, we want to keep you guys on the page, on the channel, and really just kind of make it a whole experience, coming to Kings of Horror. We definitely are going to have a lot of cool new things this year through 2021. We have a lot of big goals that we think we can accomplish, and, we still want to keep you guys entertained with all the cool independent, films. So, yeah, there's going to be some cool stuff coming out. And obviously we have some great guests lined up. A couple surprise announcements. I don't know if we'll wait to. We'll announce next week. We got a surprise announcement next week.
Yeah,
There's a surprise that there's an announcement.
Yeah. So if it all pans out, there will be. I already gave up the Greasy Strangler. I didn't hear from anybody out there. Has anyone out there seen the Greasy Strangler? If you have, you'll either love it or you'll hate me for recommending it to you. But I love it.
Played at Sundance, right?
Played at Sundance. I think Elijah Wood was a producer on it somehow. But yeah, it's a fun, gross, weird movie. I mean, it's horror. It's funny. My friend was at Sundance and saw it. Well, my friend Sean, you know Sean. Sean was at Sundance and he said that the director, when he came up, he introduced it as a rom-com. He said a romantic comedy, which makes it even funnier if you see the movie.
It was better than I thought, actually. When what you described, it as like
There's
you
no
may
way
not
to
like gonna like it, you're
describe
not
it.
gonna like it, but it's. I watched. You know, I was like, oh, it ain't bad. So
It's definitely not bad. It's amazing.
a lot better than I thought.
It's
The way you
weird
described
for
it.
sure. It's definitely weird, but some of the lines and the writing in that are incredible. And I've been fortunate to become friends with the actor in it, Michael St. Michael's, and he's a really really nice guy and really hilarious. And we had him in one of my short films that I did last that I still haven't released. But hopefully we'll be getting those released shortly. And it would be nice to have him join us because he's a fun guy.
Yeah, he is cool. I got a chance to mic him up.
Yeah, the Greasy Strangler, Camilla says she hasn't seen it yet. The Greasy Strangler is basically like, it kind of reminds me like it lives in the same world as Jared Hess movie, like Napoleon Dynamite, those types of characters. But it's it's gross. It's pretty. It's
very
wild.
quirky.
Yeah. So if you guys watch the trailer, that's what I always tell everybody that I recommend it to because I'm always recommending that movie because I love it so much. But watch the trailer, and if you see the trailer and you still want to watch it, you'll like it. But you'll definitely know from the trailer especially I think there's the what do they call it, the red band trailer out there that you can find. Yeah, if you watch that, you'll either think I'm crazy or you'll love it. Depends on your taste. So what else is going on, Justin? We got anything else exciting to talk about today?
Well, the logos we talked about.
Yeah, let
New
us know what you
movies.
guys think of those.
Yeah, we'll be releasing a lot more consistently coming up. And some of the guests that we're going to have on later down the road is we want to bring on some filmmakers, and we wanted to talk about some of the first films, the experience of their first time on films, making movies. So
yeah, we've met a lot of really cool filmmakers doing the the Terror Tuesdays that have joined us and shared their work with us, and so it'd be fun to have some of those guys back because some of them, we were able to interview some of them, but we weren't able to interview all of them. So it'd be cool to kind of put a face to some of the experiences that we've had. Hi, Olivia. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, so that would be cool to do. And like Justin said, we kind of just want to take that approach of talking to people about their first experience making it, especially when you're making indie films. It's just such a wildly different experience. And so it'd be fun to hear from these different people, what their journey was like, how they got it made, and if it ended up the way they imagined it would, or how far away from what they imagined it would.
Just getting a film made
is a feat.
Such a monumental feat. And so it's even if you don't finish where you wanted to, the fact that you finished is an accomplishment, and we definitely want to hear. We have a lot of friends and a lot of people who want to tell their stories.
Sean says, what was the first item you guys bought that's on your shelf? Man, when I was young, like when I was in my teens, I used to, I've always liked this stuff. And then you kind of hit your teenage years where it's not quite as cool to have a collection of like action figures and stuff when you're trying to like go out and date and get girlfriends. So I remember kind of like putting the stuff away for a while, locking it up in the closet. And then I had a nephew who was born, and I gave him most of my stuff. And then probably 8 years ago, I was like, I pulled out the rest of what I had, and I started to just collect again. And my goal was, like I said, I'm just going to only collect what I really like. Like, I'm only going to get a few things. I'm not going to get crazy. And I'm an addict. Like, it must have taken me about 6 weeks and a couple of paychecks, and I was emptied out. So to answer your question, Sean, one of the oldest things I have, which I don't know if you can see, but I have an old comic book that's probably one of the things I've had for the longest time, and it's the first appearance of Wolverine and a Hulk. So that's not horror related, but I've had that since I was young, and that one is one of my favorite things. And a lot of the other stuff, man, it's so hard to say. So.
Yeah, we'll do a little. You need a little show and tell. We're gonna do. I think we need to show some of these things off. So maybe that's the other thing too, is that keep an eye out for our
Yeah.
social media, and we're gonna do little clips and stuff of Mike's room.
Yeah, yeah. I will do every episode. We'll do a show and tell. I'll pick one piece and I'll talk about it, why it matters to me, and I'll see if we can.
So I look up there and I see like 40 Freddy Kruegers. There's like 90 Jasons in this room.
It said, "Was the title? It's the Greasy Strangler." The Greasy Strangler. Hold on one second. Here's my show and tell for today. Hold on.
You gotta get the other piece now. Get the other.
Which one?
Get the toy.
I'll get the toy next time. I promise, and I'll explain that. And so then this way you have to tune in for next time. So here is the Greasy Strangler. How's that look? Is that
Looks good right there.
okay? Cool.
Bring it back a little bit.
So this is the Blu-ray of. This is actually, I think, the Australian import, which has deleted scenes. So, which I actually bought a little bit ago, and I still haven't watched it. But it's the Greasy Strangler, and when I met Michael St. Michaels, and what Justin was speaking about is like, I used to do reviews for Kings of Horror before I got started. And one of the reviews that we did for the Greasy Strangler. And so I would make like props and stuff as we would do it, and I created this little kind of action figure of the Greasy Strangler. And if you've seen the movie, he's naked most of the time of the movie, and it's pretty ridiculous. So I made one of those as kind of part of the review, and a friend of mine shared it on social media, and he saw it, and then the other actor saw it, and the director saw it, and they shared it on their social media page, which I thought was really amazing. And then I reached out to him, or he reached out to me to ask me if he could have one, and I only had made one. So then I decided I would make a run of them, and I made 30 of them, and they were numbered, and we went out to go to Mad Monster in California, my wife and I, because she's also a huge fan of the Greasy Strangler, which is probably why we ended up getting married, because, you know.
It was the Greasy Strangler.
Is the Greasy Strangler, for sure. We should have had Michael do our wedding. But I brought out there, and he had autographed all of them for me. So then the ones that we sold, they were all autographed by him, and they were ones that I had sculpted. So I promise the next time I will show you guys the sculpture that I have. I still have a couple left, I think. But they're I'll find it and I'll get it for you guys so you can take a look. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, Sean. I was really, really excited about that. Since can we make a movie night with the Greasy Strangler? I would love to. I wonder if I could get. I wonder if Michael would be able to get like us permission to show it on the. Although YouTube might shut us down.
We can still figure out a way. We could still do the. There's ways to do those watch parties.
We all, like,
you guys
turn
got to
it
have a
on.
copy of the film, though. That's the only thing.
I think it's on Amazon Prime. It was for quite a while. It was on Amazon Prime for free. So, yeah, it would be fun. I bet Michael would be down to come and hang out. And
That'd be awesome, man.
we could watch it together, and everyone could talk about... God, you guys are either going to... Hey, Jasmine, how are you? Hi, C. Glass, good to see you.
What's up, Jasmine?
Yeah, you guys are like... I recommend this movie, and like... There's only two reactions. There's the one reaction of like, that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I love it. Or there's the reaction of like, what's wrong with it?
I think you guys will like it. I think our crowd.
They're a pretty fun crowd. Yeah. I try to make my brother watch it from time to time. He's not having part of it.
We got The Head coming tomorrow, and that's another awesome, crazy film.
Yeah.
So I think.
That one's fun. It's not as grotesque, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And what's Toxic: The Chemical Avenger? The Toxic Avenger. That was an amazing film, which I actually have a figure up there that Lloyd Kaufman came to Las Vegas and did a screening of Return to Nukem High 2, I think it was. And yeah, that's what it was. And he was there and selling merchandise, so I got him to autograph my Toxic Avenger action figure. If that's what you were talking about, I think it is, Camilla. But yeah, we should figure out doing like a live watch along of the Greasy Strangler with Michael.
That'd be awesome.
Fun, man. He
just have him talk. Tell us about what the heck. Yeah.
Yeah, I had so many questions for him, man. We went out to dinner, me and my wife and him, and just. It was an awesome experience. It was so cool. He's such a sweet, sweet guy, and it was a lot of fun. So I hope you guys do get a chance to check it out, and I hope that you enjoy it. Yeah, he's the pink shirt. Oh yeah. The Toxic Avenger wasn't like a pink tutu,
Well, yeah, no, Michael is.
but Michael also is in a pink shirt throughout the majority of this film. Um, but he's fantastic. He gave me. I'll show it to you guys next time. We'll have to blur some of the stuff because it's pretty raunchy. Like actually, so I'll show you the cover of this DVD. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that,
Back
Justin?
it up a little bit.
Back it up.
There you go.
So when I met Michael, he had a photo, like a still of this right here, where it's him brushing his teeth in the movie. He's naked, and and he said he asked me if I would hang it in my house if he gave it to me, and he autographed for me, and he wrote like um, Big Ronnie, that's his name, and I think he says Big Ronnie. He says brush often. And so we used to have it on our bathroom door in our bathroom in our bedroom at our old house, and now I do have it, and it's not up in here right now, but it will be up in here. So it's really fun. Yeah, it was a really cool experience. So yeah, next time we see each other, let's talk some more about the Greasy Strangler.
Yeah, for
And we
sure.
might just have
We'll
the
talk with
Greasy
Michael too
Strangler
before.
on
Yeah,
with
yeah,
us.
we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, he's awesome, man.
So you went to a movie theater, is that correct?
We did, yeah, for my wife's birthday, because we haven't been out in the world, and it was fun. Jasmine wanted to see this again. There you go, Jasmine. But it was a lot of fun. You could rent a movie theater for $100 and bring up to 20 people, and it was a big theater. So we had a lot of space. It was safe. Everybody wore masks. They they clean them really well, and it was $99 for the theater, and you could get, like I said, up to 20 people. And it was during Christmas time, so we went and saw Elf, and that was a lot of fun. But I was just looking it up the other day. I think it's AMC that's doing it, and maybe some of the other theaters are doing it as well. But what was I gonna say? They have a lot of like really cool classic films that they show, like 80s stuff, like
Right.
and so I was looking at some of them the other night, and I have to go do it again. It's fun. It's kind of a fun way to get out of the house. So
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. You can rent the theater.
yeah, and it's a pretty good deal. I mean, that's one of the, I guess, the pluses to this terrible time. But it's
Right.
$100 to help support the theater, and if you get 20 people, like the theater is big enough. I didn't know if it was gonna be like a really small theater, but it wasn't. It was probably a 60 or 80 seat theater easily.
That's awesome.
So I mean, you're still being safe and everything's good, and
They still have concessions and everything in there.
still have concessions. Things are a little different, like in I think the way that you kind of got things, but overall,
God,
theater experience. It was fun to get
I'm
back
dying to
into
go
the
to a theater
man.
again, man.
So much
I'm
fun.
dying to go to a
Yeah.
theater. I need to go.
We should do it together. We'll rent one out and go and
It was $100.
$99. Yeah, newer movies. I think I think they just did Wonder Woman, and I think that's like $299 or $199. It depends. Like there's two different things, which But again, like what I was saying is, if you get 20 people, it's $5 each. It's not bad. Like for the $100, and even if it was $200, it's $10 each. I mean, it's what you pay.
Right.
But you kind of have your own group, and what's cool about that too is like also for like horror movies and stuff is like that experience of being able and going to see movies you've already seen, where you get to talk and like have fun and laugh and like enjoy the movie.
We're gonna get a group together and go do that
We
soon.
will for sure.
We need to find out if there's a cold classic horror film playing.
I know, because I looked the other night and I don't remember seeing horror films on there, but they had some really cool ones. They had they had Gremlins during Christmas time, which that was what I wanted to go see, but I didn't know if it was going to be. I know everyone loved Elf, and Elf was awesome.
So we got 6 minutes left, Mike.
6 minutes.
I think
Time
it's a good,
flies.
even though we've been talking to you guys, and but I do think this might be an opportunity to ask some of you guys about what are some of the things you guys would like to see on the channel. Are you guys all about the movies? Do you guys like some of the movie reviews, the video game reviews? Me and Mike got some things in the works that we'll be launching soon.
Cut down videos is what
Can
we're
we-
kind of like. Is that what we're chatting about now?
Yeah, or we can announce that, or no? We'll wait to that.
Yeah, we're working
All right, so
on
we'll
something.
go ahead.
Well, we're working on some cut down videos, kind of traditional stuff that you see across the internet, but like the fun stuff of like maybe the top 10 lists, maybe a specific, thing. You can say what it is if you like.
We are launching a series called Killer Creatures.
Yep. So that's hopefully we have one of them banked, and we've got about 5 or 6 movies that
we got a
we've
few
lined
banked.
up. Yeah,
Wink,
but
wink.
I mean one
No.
fully cut and ready to go. But they're fun, and it's like, and so the approach is that Camilla says she's most about the movies. I get it, 100% get it. But the approach with Killer Creatures is like, let's watch some horror films that we love, and then kind of like take a step back and assess the creatures. Like, what was the deal with these creatures, and were they? It's funny to me oftentimes in horror movies where you watch films and the rules shift right at the end. Like, it's like you watch a movie throughout, and you can't kill this thing. There's no way you can stop this thing, and then we got 10 minutes left in the movie, and it's you just hit him in the head with an axe and it's over or whatever. It's like we kind of wanted to dive into those creatures and take a look and like, were they really that dangerous? Was it the people that made them more dangerous? If you stopped going to Camp Crystal Lake, would Jason really kill you, or would he, just
It's
some
the
fun
essence
stuff
of
like
what
that.
makes
Yeah.
a horror film.
Yeah.
It's the creature, and that creature can be. I always wanted to do a movie. We're not going to do this movie right off the bat, but like The Happening, for example. I love to do The Happening and just analyze what the heck
happened.
you know.
I love The Happening. I know that I think that Mark
I love The
Wahlberg's,
Happening. It's
performance is not his
it's
best.
something to watch, and there's you take a slasher film, and it's very, you can dissect that, but like Mike said, it's like you take Friday the 13th. It's like if they're not going to Camp Crystal Lake, it's like
Yeah, if people just stop digging up Jason, man, like he would be fine. Just leave him in the bottom of the lake.
That's one of the things. Killer Creatures is a new series that we'll be having.
And it
soon.
seems like what a lot of people are really loving is our movie nights where we do the movies and you guys get a chance to chat. And we did talk about this a little bit last time, but I do want to touch on it again and really kind of lay it out. Is like, unfortunately, just like all of you, we can't be available for every one of them, so that kind of holds us back from premiering these movies as live premieres with the chat, because we kind of feel bad that we're not able to hang out with you and participate. But I think moving forward, even if we can't, we can at least stop in and say hello, but we should turn on the chat for you guys and let you guys hang out. You guys are all so cool and hang out with each other, and I know when I have the opportunity to sit in there and watch movies and chat with you guys, I sure really do enjoy it. So we're just gonna do that from now on. I think like that's
for premieres.
For premieres, yeah. When we get new movies on the channel, we'll make sure that we premiere them as often as we can, so that you guys can still
even if we're not in
chat.
there, you guys can still talk to each other and still, maybe a filmmaker will pop in there too. But we want to expand the channel, but we want to still provide what the reason why you guys come back, and that's the films. So we still want to have great movies coming in, which we are, and we want to kind of see your guys' view on some of this stuff. So if you guys like some of the, it seems like Ed says, I love having the creators in the chat.
Yeah, it's fun to get to talk to them, man. I'm glad you guys are enjoying that. I don't know. The films are so much fun, and I think we all are such fans of the filmmakers and their, what gets them to do it. And on this indie level, it's just such a fun thing. I don't know if I've said it before. I maybe have, but on our channel, we have a whole playlist of Ted V. Michaels, who's a cult filmmaker back I think he started in the 70s, maybe even the 60s, but made movies for a very long time. Actually worked with Ed Wood, funny enough. So either way, a good friend of mine when I was young, his grandfather was friends with Ted and got to work on some of his movies, and so he brought me on a couple of them, which they're both on here, is Dimensions in Terror and Corpse Grinders 2. So it was fun though, but it was just so cool to watch and be on that set of like this independent film and see this, like, it was creating a film was such a world away from me at that point.
Right.
And realistically, like, that experience was what, a few other things, but that was like the thing that made me say, I could find a way to do this. I could figure out a way to make a movie. And I'm so grateful for that experience. And it was just so much fun. And I don't know, I feel like I'm always reliving that when I'm talking to these filmmakers in in the chat, and then also our experiences making our own films and stuff. So
Yeah, the film we had last week, A Night Store. He said he shot it in 14 days, I think.
yeah,
It's just crazy, and it's obviously possible to shoot a film in 14 days. But 14 days is quick, man. Even for an indie, and it's like it's the low. It's it's a feat in general. So I was pretty impressed by that, and it's nice to you ask them a question and they'll surprise you. There's so much cool things that go on, and we hearing the stories on how a movie's made is so cool.
yeah, and that's where we're going to get with our podcast at some point, because we do want to talk more to those filmmakers and share their stories with you guys some more. And we'll do them live like this, and we'll do some that are pre-recorded, but it'll be, video versions, or if you want to just listen on your, way to work or whatever, you can listen to. So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that we kind of covered everything. Anything else you want to say before we go, or before my camera kicks
just
me off again?
stay tuned for just more stuff coming out. Again, if you guys haven't followed all our social media accounts, go do that. We're getting a little bit more active in the social media area.
Justin's been doing that. He's doing a great job.
And thank you, sir. And so we love you guys. Keep coming back, even if you don't get in the chat sometimes. We appreciate everything you guys do.
You guys. Sean says, how many people are needed to make an indie? Sean, more than you would think, but also it's doable. If you're making a feature film, an independent feature film, I mean, gosh, like 20 is not a lot. 20 is a low, and I know that might even be a big number I'm saying out there, but I'm talking about cast and crew. So if you're putting it together,
it depends on how. I was on feature film crew, got distribution, and there was 1, 2, 3, 6 people on set.
Really?
And then
the entire time,
plus or minus 2 or 3.
So 9 to 10 people, and that's
maybe at the max.
Yeah,
maybe at the max 15 on a busy day.
Maybe
but it
32.
It was a cameraman, the cinematographer, the director. It was an audio guy. It was a grip, camera assistant.
Were you the audio on that one?
I was audio on that one. Yep. And
what about the actors?
2 or 3 different PAs. We had about 3 PAs, sometimes max. Sometimes it was 2, sometimes it was 1. And then actors. Yeah,
it sounds like more than 6 to me, guys. Did you guys count more than 6? Because he went through one.
Actors aren't crew. Actors aren't crew.
Well, he didn't say how many crew members you need. He said how many people you need to make an indie.
Oh, but I mean, honestly though, like you can make an indie film.
Depending on your story,
we can make one in here.
Yeah, we could.
You and I.
Like a Zoom call.
There is no limit to.
Yeah.
It just depends on what story you make, how hard you want to work.
How many
getting
hats
creative.
you want to wear?
More the merrier, but I also feel like I've learned with some my friends who are filmmakers, there's you get bloated sometimes. Sometimes independent films get bloated with crew. So there's that right balance of having a position, having someone do, have a dedicated position, but not having too many people. So I mean, I also don't think that maybe independent films have been over-crewed. That's not really a problem. Usually it's 99.
I've never known one that was.
I've known a couple that were too many people have been there, but other than that, usually, I don't know. I guess it really didn't answer your question completely, but anywhere.
Cut off again.
Are we on? No, we're still on, Mike.
Oh, mine froze up, so I thought it was because we were right at that hour mark where last time we lost it. They lost us. So
no, I think we're good.
I think it was just a phone call coming in. Sorry. But yeah, you're right. It's but still, I guess the long answer for you, which is what we delivered, 10 to 20 minutes. I think
that's a fair amount.
Yeah, and I mean
that's for production.
Yeah, it's there's a lot to do, but again, if you really want to do it, then you do it, and you make something, and it won't come out exactly as you hoped it would, but it's something to be proud of because you did it, and hopefully you learn from it and make something cooler next time.
Yeah, and I do feel like if you guys do want to make films, if you guys are inspired, you don't worry about how many people you need first. Don't say I need 10 or 12 people. Worry about, the story, and then all right, let me get an actor, let me get a cameraman, let me get a sound guy. All right, I need someone to help out the cameraman. Then you move that way. I do feel like, as cheesy as it sounds, you can make a movie on your phone.
Yeah, you
So
can. Yeah, and Sean says they need to make a movie called The Death of Plaid. I
Plaid
don't know
as
if you guys remember this guy. He's back. He's still here. He's always here.
Plaid has a long life here on our channel. I don't feel like there's no death of Plaid. I feel like
It just keeps returning when you think,
Yeah.
just when you think it's gone, the Plaid is back. I want to make a movie where like the creature bleeds plaid blood.
interesting.
Camilla says she loves long answers. Thank God, because we are the long answer kings.
Not only are we the kings of horror, we are the kings of long answers. We are the kings of going on tangents.
That'll be our new channel, so keep an eye out for that. It's called
Yeah.
The King of Never Shutting Up, and it's kings of giving you long-winded answers.
But yes, we will. To wrap it up, follow the social media accounts. We'll keep you guys informed. We're gonna have new movies coming out pretty dang soon, and we'll be going live once a week.
Yep.
So for now, we're gonna try to go live on Mondays. So join us next week on Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And if we change, we will let you guys know.
Yeah, well, we will be back Monday next Monday at 4 p.m. no matter what. At least for the first time we can do it. But also, you know what? We'll put up a little thing in the we do the community posts. Here's what we're gonna do: is next week let's put up a community post early. We'll just put it up soon, and then you guys write stuff in there that you want us to talk about. Write some, like, if you have questions or if you have anything that you want us to bring up, put those in there. So we'll put up a little post for that for you guys to interact with, and
Yeah,
look forward to chatting with you guys again. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and thanks so much for
you guys are
supporting
awesome.
our channel. Man.
Thank you
Really
so much. We do appreciate it, and sometimes if we don't get a chance to say hello on the chat, we do read everything. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right.
Stay safe. We'll see you soon.